everyone. Today is June 9th, 2025. Was Monday. It's been a solid day. Yeah, that's been fun. Alright, see ya. Have a good night. Nah, I like yapping, so buckle in. Anyways, woke up at 8:55 today. Got up and played some Roblox while I was prepping the pot roast. I needed to thaw out the meat that I used, so was doing that. And then came up, wrote some video log descriptions while my game was running. And then went and the vegetables were already prepped, so I literally just had to cut potatoes and then throw them in, season the thing. And then I did something different this time. Instead of, usually I had like a tri-tip, right? So I cut it up. Usually I like seared one side, flipped it, seared another, sear, like seared four sides or whatever, right? And then cut it up and then threw it in there. This time I cut it all up, seared it in like cubes basically, and then tossed it in there. And is there really a difference? Like I can't really tell. So I was like, I probably need to salt the cubes instead of like the whole thing next time. But I mean, we live and we learn, right? And then so I got the pot roast cooking. I was like, oh yeah, it'll be like 40 minutes. And Ava was like, milkshake? I was like, okay. So we went downtown and got a milkshake. And then on the way up, I called my mom and she wanted some food too. And so picked up food for her. And I got like some spicy chicken sandwich or whatever. It's actually pretty good. But for $12, it's kind of crazy. It was all right. What, 80 cents a bite, dude, is kind of diabolical for real. But yeah, got home and then the pot roast was done. Ava and I watched our episode while we ate. I took the pot roast to like cool off or whatever. And then I started some laundry and then went down and planted the sprouts in the garden. So I had the sprouts like outside and kept like watering them. And they were doing the same with like kind of like wilt and then they come back up when they got watered and like, oh. And so I was like, bruh, like, gosh, I need to get these guys in the ground, dude. So finally planted them. Hope they survive. It'd be so tragic if they died, bro. I was like, I'm most excited about the tomatoes and carrots. I think they have the highest chance of survival. The beans are obviously like flourishing. My grandpa was over like fixing the fan in the bathroom downstairs in like my mom's part of the house, and he was like sitting outside and he was like, did you call your grandpa and consult him before making the garden? And I was like, no. And he was like, yeah, probably would have saved you about 20 hours and these beans would already be grown. I was like, okay, grandpa. Like, you're so funny, dude. It's so funny the communication barrier between like the older generation and me, bro. Like, cause I'm literally like the type of guy. I'm like, dude, like I have expertise on this. Like, if you wanted to reach out, I would be more than willing to help you. Like kind compassion. My grandpa's just like, yep, you're a dumbass. I was like, grandpa, like what? But the beans are like growing, like they're literally flowering right now. And he was like, over in that corner you get more sun. Right here you're kind of screwing yourself. I mean, I guess you get morning sun. I guess you do get some sun in the morning, but we get more sun over there. So I probably would have started over in that corner. And he walks over to the corner and goes, why's there a hole here? I was like, there was literally a bunch of rocks and like weeds and stuff. So I like dug it all out one summer. I was like having fun with it. And there's like all the dirt's over in the other corner. And I like use it, right? And so he like had like a trench around where I'm gardening for like irrigation. Like it just happened like that kind of. And he was like, I've never seen anyone do this. I was like, bro, it happened. Like it's happening. Like I don't know what to tell you, grandpa. This is kind of how it's happening. And so it was really funny. And so I got all the sprouts planted, and then I came inside. I did my shoes were still sandy. We went to the beach yesterday, so I cleaned off all the sand with like a towel, and then put away the pot roast while I was doing the sprouts. Ava, this is so cute, bro. Ava like prepped the Tupperware for our pot roast to go to where we went to work. So I put the rest away, and that was pretty nice. And then I had some time to play some games. That was sick. And then we went to work. Work was honestly like meh, like it was lame. And then a couple funny events did kind of happen. So I got there, and then dude, the first guy I served, Chuck, you're the goat. He's actually really interesting. He's a character. He comes in with his friend, or did come in with his friend, who I've talked about on video logs like multiple times. Like this is like the third time I'm bringing him up. But his name is Bell, and he freaking tried to rob a bank when he was high as crap, and ended up getting arrested for it. And then a couple days later, he gets out of jail, and then he breaks into a woman's house, and gets arrested again after getting like the crap beaten out of him. Like black, it was literally like mugshot, and he was just like, and then it was like same mugshot, but it was just like this, but with a black eye, and I was like, bro. But yeah, he came in and he did me like $4. I was like, and then yeah, there was a point where Joseph got like 3 phone calls back to back, like 3, not 30. It's constantly so 30, 3 phone calls back to back, and he was like standing by the phone, and another one, and I was like, bro, back up, and he was like, oh, not that's yours, not that's yours. That phone order took me $9, dude. I was like, crazy luck, bro. Felt like a gambler. I was sitting there, I was just like, felt like a gambler, bro. I thought it was so funny. I thought it was so funny. And I was flexing the whole time. And yeah, we were all chilling. And then on Saturday, we even talked with Kaz, and we were like, dude, you guys come over during the break and watch a movie. So from the 4th through the 17th, the restaurant's gonna be closed. And so we were like, you can come over and watch a movie. It'd be so fun. We have like a movie night or whatever, or a movie morning, whatever. I don't care. I was like, Kazan's 17, so she has to coordinate that with her parents. Circa's 18, but her parents are a little more strict. So I don't care. I would love to have a movie day. Like, that'd be so fun. Movie day. And so we were like, yeah, it'd be so sick. So Circa was also like, we could do it. And I jokingly was like, yeah, man. We'll set it for Sunday at 9 a.m. so your parents will think you're coming to church with us, and they have to say yes, because if they say no, at that point there's bad people. And it was really, really funny. We were like joking about it. And the movie I wanted to show them is Team America World Police, dude. Literally just to see their reactions to it. Like, that movie is insane, dude. Movie is actually, what the is happening at any point, bro. So I really want to watch that with them. And then, yeah, again, after 8 p.m., dude, starts picking up. Everyone got a table after 8. I got 2. And then a third one as well after everyone had already left. And then there was, like, phone orders, like, probably 8 phone orders after 8 o'clock. Weird. And then a table tried to dine in at 9:40. I'm like, dude, I'm locking the door in 19 minutes. No, you can't sit down and eat. So they got their food to go. They were a little unhappy, but they got their food to go. And then I finished sweeping and closing. Finished sweeping my mop and came home. And then I've been chilling playing CSGO. And I did my recovery video logs for Thursday and Friday. Didn't make morning video log day. Haven't brushed my teeth yet. Need to though. You gotta, And then I did clean the apartment trash. I haven't watered the beans yet. But I did water them when I did yard work earlier, which was another goal. So did yard work, did water the beans. So that stuff's nice. Let me square these just because it's kind of weird without the squares. And then yeah, so I've been chilling playing video games. I just called Ava and was like, hey, ETA getting home, just hanging out at Summers watching Solo Leveling, and she was like, not really. I was like, sick, dude. Dope. Sounds great to me. She just texted me. That's crazy. That's wild. I was just right when I said her name. And yeah, so Daily Thought is just like this recently, like since like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was behind on video logs all those days, all of them, and I was like, I have written Daily Thought about expressing concerns about my mental state and the busyness of life that has been putting me a little behind on video logs, and how it can be a very slippery slope. And that is so true. Like, it is so easy. And every time, I think I've talked about this before, but every time I miss a video log, I'll literally have the thought, and it kind of, like, spurs me on. Like, it kind of, like, makes me want to, like, go a little bit more, you know? I literally have the thought every time. The last video log I made could be my last one. Like, I could just stop doing it. And like, I could just stop. At any time, I could just not make another video log. Just not edit another one. Not upload them. Just stop making video logs. And it's like, it's a very, like, my brain obviously is instinctively hardwired to path of least resistance. Like, the easiest route, do that. And so when I take on harder and harder obstacles, and I'm finally getting to the point of video logs where it's like it's mundane, it's monotonous, it's the same thing every time, right? Like it's literally just write description, talk about stuff, edit, put it together, copy paste, upload. Like it's the same thing every time. I was sitting there going, oh, like I'm at the mundanity now. Like I'm at the monotony, and so I'm like I'm doing my best to enjoy it while it's still kind of stimulating. But when I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm like having a depressive episode, but when I'm not feeling like motivated to get up and talk about my day and go over the plans and like talk about all the stuff I got going on, when I'm not motivated to do that, there are some days or some weeks where I'm literally just like, dude, it's not gonna happen. It's just not. So I'm gonna set morning video log as a goal for tomorrow, and I'm gonna really stick to it this time. So yeah, goals for tomorrow: brush teeth, obviously. Brush teeth is the goal. Morning video log with a star by it, and then I got water, plants, outside, do some more yard work. I just want to get the freaking dandelions out of there, dude. Make sure there's no, I'm gonna literally de-weed. I need to fold clothes, wash socks. We have a sock bin that's like full of socks, dude. So I gotta wash all those, and then take out trash to curb. I feel like I had something else I want to do tomorrow. Oh, my mom has a bunch of shoes she wants. Youth ranch drop off. Yeah, I feel like honestly, I was talking with our friend Lorelai about like the video logs, and I was like, I don't really feel like it's journaling because I don't really talk about how I feel a lot of the time. Like I kind of just gloss over it, and it's like Ava and I'll have a we'll call it a heated discussion. We're married, like we are married, dude. Husband and wife. You will never find greater enemies. We always joke like our life is like our marriage life is literally like one super long gaslighting battle. And I mentioned it today at work, and it was one of the funny moments where I was just like, yeah, me and Ava, bro, we're in a lifelong gaslighting battle, and I'm up right now. And she was like, oh, he just thinks he's up. He likes to say he's up. It makes him feel better about himself. And I was like, she's deflecting right now. She's obfuscating. And she was just like, I'm done. And I was like, dude, it's literally like we bring up like, oh, gaslighting, and it's like a joke, and then we're just like, but I'm up. Like it's so funny. But like I don't really talk about how I feel about things. I think it's really interesting, and I'm just such a like I'm so glad to say that I am such an introspective and long-term thinking person. So it's like the actions of the moment don't really make that much of a difference. It's the intention of the long term, right? Like it's not where you're at, it's where you're going. And so that's where I'm at. And I think right now in my 20s, if I'm thinking in terms of decades, by the time I'm president, I'll be thinking in terms of what is the long-term goal of America? Like at what point do we sit here and go, okay, society is strong enough that we can start working towards a common goal, right? And so people are like, oh my god, it's space travel, we're gonna go colonize Mars. Not realistic. We don't need to colonize Mars. We don't need to there's no reason to colonize Mars. There are so many things on Earth that can be made better for people. And obviously everyone has a different version of better, but there's so many areas to explore, there's so many things to confirm, so many things to study, so much stuff to do. And people are like, oh, colonize Mars. Like, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's a nothing burger. Like, it's a nothing burger. And so I'm like, I want to get to the point in my thinking where I'm thinking in terms of, I don't want to say centuries and sound like, like arrogant and be like, oh, I'm just such a long-term thinker. But I would love to think in terms of centuries. Like,
societies rise and fall over time. Like that's just how it is. And I made a comment earlier. It was like some joke about like in 1358, some dudes threw bread over a wall, and the army that was like sieging the city left because they were like, if they have so much food, they're throwing it over the wall. Like that's ridiculous. And it was like this tactic of like, we have so much. They had, there was really the last bread they had. They threw it over the wall, and the army left because they were like, dude, we're not sitting through this siege. And I made a comment and was like, meanwhile, in rural China, 552 billion civilian deaths in one small local conflict. 22% were from cannibalism. Like that to me is like my humor. And so it's like societies rise. I say that because it's like societies rise and fall, and they're just gonna do that. And so it's like, what I want to be able to do is radically change education to become a much more like consciousness based thing. And like this is all obviously like base formulating, but it's like I want to be able to have people become conscious of themselves. Ava and I were having a really good conversation, and she was like, yeah, like part of the toxic like feminine and masculine energies we get are based on like societal pressure, like, oh, you need to go do this, like you need to lead the country, you need to go do this, when all they want to do is be a blacksmith, all they want to do is be a dancer, all they want to do is this. And I'm like, I would argue that once yourself is actualized, you can take on those responsibilities. Like that to me makes a lot of sense. So I have spent a lot of time doing my best to actualize myself. Like I know who I am. I know 100% certain who I am, who I want to be. It's everything in between that I get to enjoy. And that's the fun part of life. Like it's all the stuff in between who I am right now and who I want to be one day. Like this distance is going to be my life. Like it's literally going to be this, dude. Like all of this is going to be that time in between who I am today and who I want to be in the future. And I have all these pages to fill of it. And so I'm like I don't know how to express. I think in such long terms. I want to be able to allow people to become conscious enough of themselves to become proper members of their society. You know, and so it's like communities need strong cornerstones. And we kind of live in a society where everything is so allowed to be temporary. And so we have a public pool in our town. And I was talking to my coworker earlier, Yasmin, and she was like, yeah, it's a shit show right now. They've pumped all this money into it. It's like, there's a huge waiting list. It's a super small area. The deep end isn't even open. They don't have lifeguards. And I'm like, realistically, what our town like actually needs is a guy, a person, a man or a woman, to be the pool person. 10 hours a day, open to close. They're always there. And it's just their life. They're just at the pool. They're just an extra set of eyes for the lifeguards. If someone, like, they kind of manage everything like a groundskeeper, dude. And just someone who's going to be like, yeah, I'm totally fine living my life as the pool guy, making sure everything is okay. Or you could have 2 rotating pool guys. And just, like, they're the pool people. Like, you go to the pool and they're there and they talk with you and they meet with you and they are part of the lifeguards and they're always there and they're good people. That's what communities need. It's just someone like that. And I think we miss it a lot because we kind of get that connection from social media. Like, I always call it the parasocial relationship. Parasocial relationships are normal. Everyone has a parasocial relationship with their leader. Everyone. Everyone does. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Every single peasant in history has had a parasocial relationship with their king, or their queen, or their nobles, or their duke, or their bishop, or their whatever. Like everyone has. You always think about, how am I going to act when I meet that person? How would I act if I met that person? How would I act if I was in their shoes? What would I do differently? You make a parasocial relationship with that person. Parasocial relationships are normal. There, I said that. I think that the actual social relationships you get with people like that are core members of your community. but we don't have people who are those anymore, and like people who people trust. Like the end game is like, you as a parent can drop off your child. You know the pool guy. The pool guy knows you, knows these are your kids, and will watch your kids for you and make sure they're fine. You can leave and go do whatever. They're fine at the pool. Like, that is a trusting society. That's where we were before social media really started like making things divisive. And so that's what I was thinking, of just like,
How do you even? Where was I? Where was I with this? Dedicated people.
the actualization of yourself. And so it's like, you have to be a conscious person to know if that's something you want to do. And if it's not something you want to do, and you're just like, hey man, I just want to make $100,000 a year. Like, if that's all you want out of life, be a core member of your community, and your only term is $100,000 a year. That's it. That's all I have to say. So yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful night. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night.